Hi friends, this is Sri Vidya. I welcome you to my channel on Cardiac Essentials. Today we'll be talking about high cholesterol and the heart disease, cardiovascular diseases. So what is this cholesterol? We hear it like everywhere, people suffering from cholesterol, we hear it everywhere we go. And what is this? They say it's a plaque formation that blocks the artery. They say the artery gets narrowed by this plaque buildup. What is this? This thing called cholesterol. So you all might be wondering. And we all know that it is a major risk factor. That can lead to heart disease like a stroke or even death. And today we'll be discussing all about it, like how it can be controlled, what kind of medications, healthy diet, regular exercise, what are needed for all this. So cholesterol is nothing but it is like a kind of a waxy fatty substance that is found in the blood. So what happens is the liver either starts making cholesterol or it uses cholesterol obtained from other sources. It can be the dietary cholesterol or saturated fat or the cholesterol in the blood or the cholesterol absorbed from the reabsorbing the bile from the gastrointestinal tract. So it can be very much, like I said, diet is the basis for everything for a person to be healthy. Exercise is good, but diet is kind of the forms the basis for a healthy lifestyle. So when we are talking about cholesterol, cholesterol is very crucial for healthy functioning of the body. It needs to build like healthy cells, make vitamins and other hormones. But too much of cholesterol can also lead to some really high risk problems, including a heart disease and a stroke leading to death. So high cholesterol is one of the major controllable risk factor for any heart disease, heart attack or stroke. So what is this? We know it is like a waxy substance that's found in the blood. So what is this that's called like a good cholesterol and bad cholesterol? What is all this? You might be wondering what it is. So what happens is cholesterol is carried through your blood attached to proteins. This combination of proteins and cholesterol is called a lipoprotein. So there are different types of cholesterol based on what the lipoprotein carries. Like I said, what are the lipoproteins? It's a combination of protein and cholesterol. So low density lipoprotein and high density lipoprotein. So that's what we call as LDL. LDL is known by bad cholesterol. So why do we call it as a bad cholesterol? Because it can build up inside our arteries easily, causing them to hardening and narrowing of the arteries. It builds inside the arteries and limiting the blood flow. When it becomes narrow, the blood flow is limited. This stage is called as atherosclerosis, which can ultimately lead to heart attack or stroke. So now we might be wondering, what is this HDL? We know what is a bad cholesterol. What is a good cholesterol? Because it carries unnecessary cholesterol away from the arteries back into our liver. And inside the liver, what happens? It is the good cholesterol is broken down and it gets thrown out. Well, we were talking about cholesterol being carried through the blood attached to proteins. And now we know what is a lipoprotein, what is a bad cholesterol, and we were also talking about good cholesterol. So, what does this good cholesterol do? It can build inside the arteries, causing them to, that's the bad cholesterol. And the good cholesterol, what does it do? It carries the unnecessary cholesterol away from our arteries back to our liver. And what happens inside the liver? It's broken down and gets eliminated, goes out of the body. So, a healthy level of good cholesterol can protect against heart attack and stroke. Now, what is the third component that we need to know? That is your triglycerides. So, that also plays a very important role in our cholesterol health. Bear with me, I got a bad cold actually. I had a cup of juice outside and there goes my voice, zoop. So just bear with me. So they are the most common type of fat. What are these triglycerides? Or nothing but they are a common type of fat that's there in our body that stores our excess energy or fat what we eat from our diet. So when we are talking about being obese or overweight, is eating a lot of fatty and sugary foods and drinking way a lot of alcohol can also raise the blood triglyceride levels. So why do we have to welcome trouble? Not required, right? Just like I did, I went to a local juice shop. They had put such jazzy, stylish, banners outside. I thought, why not have some juice here? I just went in. I told them I like pineapple juice a lot. So I told them a glass of pineapple. Well, my voice got on for a toss, went for a toss. And this will be okay in a couple of days. I'm taking antibiotics. So let's get back on. Triglyceride levels may be high despite your relatively normal levels of good cholesterol and non-HDL cholesterol. So when you are talking about triglyceride levels, when you take it in combination with a low HDL and high LDL, this can increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. So you have to be very careful. Like I said, anything, be it thyroid, be it diabetes, be it heart, lung, liver, kidney, diet is the major thing that works on your body. The first thing that works on your body. What you eat is what is your body. So if we are able to restrict and bring in some simple lifestyle modifications, nothing like it, we can have a healthy lifestyle. Then also we often hear, right, dyslipidemia. What is this? What is this term called dyslipidemia? So this is nothing but it refers to the presence of non-optimal levels of blood lipids. So if you are talking about the clinical practice, they would say the raised total cholesterol or low density lipoprotein cholesterol. That is on the clinical practice I'm talking about. So when you are often it's extended to include non-optimal levels of high density lipoprotein cholesterol, triglyceride, apolipoprotein B and apolipoprotein A1, So another thing that we often come across is the familial hypercholesterolemia. So what is this? FH. It's nothing but a genetic condition that brings in a high cholesterol and like approx around 34 million people worldwide, or maybe around 200-250 people as per the cardiac journal, are getting affected by this FH. And if untreated, FH can lead to heart attacks, heart disease, and individuals with FH have a high amount of LDL cholesterol. What is LDL? bad cholesterol. Why? You must always anything, the very good thing about the medical practice is for everything there should be a why. And should I not? When you put a why in any of the questions, that means you are not only attending the question, you know the entire process, the mechanism of action, whether it is your pharmacy, whether it is your, diagnosis, anything, put a why. So, if untreated, FH can lead to heart attacks and heart disease. High amount of LDL, bad cholesterol. Why? Due to the mutation in one of the several genes that control how the liver uses the cholesterol, the functionality of the liver in using the cholesterol. So what happens finally? The cholesterol gets accumulated in the bloodstream, and when it gets accumulated in the bloodstream, what happens? It can slowly it gets built up in the artery walls. So what happens to patients? Slowly they start developing fatty skin deposits. That's called as xanthomas on their body, or cholesterol deposits. So that may be visible, like mostly if you see, you can make out from the eyes, eyelids, a condition called xanthelasmus. That can be known from the eyelids. And also the diabetic patients you can make from the eyes as well. It can be easily, the body has the ability to show the processes going inside the body. Anything is going wrong, it will come out easily, it will be shown. And FH is a family factor, it is genetic. So the number of mutations, those who are inherited, determines the type of FH an individual has. So one inherited mutation it's called heterozygous familial hypocholesterolemia. So HeFH. What does that mean? So what exactly it means is, one abnormal mutation is passed down a child, typically from one parent. So if it is two inherited mutations, homozygous FH. So that happens when a mutation for HeFH is passed on from each of the parent to the child. So this, what happens is, it is more or rare and severe form of FH. So FH are largely they are silent diseases, they say, asymptomatic. Many a time 98% of population suffer from heart disease, I would say, basically because of the diet, the sedentary lifestyle they live, and stress is the major cause of all the diseases. So it is good to relax, change what you can, leave what you can't. That should be the policy. Don't overthink onto anything, because time and tide waits for no man, rightly said. So change what you can, leave what you can't. That should be the policy of life, to have a stress-free life. It's easily said than done, You can say, hey Shri, you know what? That's easy to say. Yeah, it's easy to say, but we have to live. And when you endure negativity and dwell into negativity, you will lose your self-confidence. And once you lose your self-confidence, you become like a dead person. You stop thinking, you don't know what to do. You cannot understand the other person to know what you are undergoing. It's kind of a difficult factor, And with this, I'm going to end up today's video because of the time constraint. And probably stay tuned for the next video, and we have more. And if you do like my video, don't forget to put a like and do subscribe. Wishing you all a very healthy and long life. God bless. Thank you.